it's your first time joining us, we're gonna be creating a junk journal tonight. So I've got both cameras set up. I'm gonna be going off this one for a while. That way you guys can see me creating. You can see in here. Hopefully I can turn that around. I don't know if I need to adjust that. Let's see. It should let me turn it sideways. There we go. I need it so that you guys can see me creating. I don't want it to be sideways. There we go. So yeah, we've got a couple of junk journals here that I want to share with you guys. The first one you guys have seen if you've been on here before. We've actually created in this a couple of times, so we're going to be using that again. I'm just going to flip through it and show you guys what a junk journal looks like. I also have one that I created out of an old envelope, and this is actually the one that I had shown you guys recently on Instagram. So if you're following me on Instagram, my handle is at Nastacio TL. And I've been posting a few of these images in there. Last night I was up creating the where I was making a section for the creative affirmations. So I know some of you guys have seen this post. I actually wrote them out and included them. Let's see, in a reel. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. I'm gonna be able to show you or walk you through step by step from beginning to end. We're gonna use an old envelope, same size as this one, same. I'm gonna basically be recreating this one, that way you guys can see how I made it. Some of you were able to watch the beginning process where I took the envelope and made the pocket and covered it, but I didn't show you guys the binding process and all of that. So there's that. I also have one that was made from a cardboard box and some old planner pages. So each one of these little packs of sheets are called a signature. And I think I have at least 4 of them in this book here. So you see they're folded in the middle. I have 3 holes whenever I bind my book. So I'll start in the center, go to the top and back down to the bottom. And I'll do the same thing to get the second signature in there. And I'll just do the same for all of them. You can see here that I actually sewed 2 pages together with yarn to create a pocket. So you can do the same. You can get creative. You can add things that you might have. I'm actually going to be using some of the skins from my previous paint session. So I know if you guys have watched or if you were here for the last paint session, I was showing you guys that these actually peel right off of the plastic bag. So it's still got a texture on the back. So if you want to use that side, you could. But we'll be using this side that's actually got the design on it. So that's for later. Anyway, if you're coming in from YouTube or the Junk Journaling group or the Creative Confidence group, just say hi, let me know you're here. But I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera off. That way you guys can watch as I create and you guys can get the full view of the workspace. All right. Go. So let me go ahead and just do a short little flip through. Again, this one is the junk journal that we've done previously. And I have created in it live a couple times. This is actually one of the skins left from one of my cups. So after I do a pour painting, there can be some paint at the bottom of the cup. And I used to let it sit at the bottom and then just peel it out. But since I've got these new silicone mats, I've been able to flip the cup over and just let it drip. And then once it's dry, I just peel it right off the mat. So in here, I actually have a pocket full of things that I want to use. Or if I have things that I want to put into my junk journal, I'll keep them here for the next session. So I think this was a tag from clothes, a shirt or something. But it looked cool. I like the honeycomb pattern or the hexagon. So anywhere I see that, I tend to keep them. So that's what this is from. I can, put that in the book somewhere. Live Your Best Life, chapter 13. My birthday's on the 13th, so I think that's probably why I kept that. Oh, and a birthday card. So yeah, that makes sense. So usually when it's a birthday card, there's a personal message in there. So I'm not going to open it. But if you want to put it in your book, you can glue the back side of it to your page. And then that way when you go back and look through it, you can see what that person wrote to you and keep it. So that's what that is. Or that's why I have these in here. And maybe I will use them later, but I think I want to create in the new book that we make. So again, this is just a junk journal is what it sounds like, is anything that you would have otherwise thrown out as junk can be used to repurpose or use in a way that you wouldn't normally use. So I've got my old Sudoku puzzle. It's over here. This is actually from, oh, my address has been on here the whole time. Whoops. So these are actually just scraps, stickers, anything that I found and came across, and I just put it together. Some of these pages may have a theme. I usually start with the background. This one I used washi tape, and these are cutouts from the video game called Little Big Planet. So that's where that's from. That's actually the thumbnail on tonight's live. Here is a nice example of the skins peeled off from the inside of the shot glasses that I use. So once I pour, there's always some leftover on the inside of the cup, and that's what I did. I just peeled this off. Once the acrylic dries, it's kind of like a plastic film, and I peeled it off and I put some glue down and laid it on there, and that's all we have. So it kind of looks like a stained glass or an abstract painting of its own. So there's that. These are lyrics. I don't know what song this is. Oh, it's Protege. And this is actually this is a background. I started a background. This is torn from a book. So I just took a couple pages from a book, stripped them, and glued them randomly on the page. So it looks cool. This is with tissue paper and washi tape as a border. This is actually the original page. So it was a planner. You had a Monday through Friday. I mean, Monday through Friday, and then the weekends are down here at the bottom. And then there would be an image on this side. But what I did was I covered them. And each page, I just went along and made the background, and then I put whatever was going on at the time, or if I had certain things that I wanted to use to create, and that's how they went on there. So you'll be able to see all that once we get into creating. But for right now, I actually want to show you guys how to make your own junk journal. These are the fruits of the spirit that I taught. So those are in there to be added to my journal as well. So I don't keep everything, but there are things that I like, and if I want to hold on to them or if I want to keep them, I usually put them in a book so that way they're not just laying randomly as junk. Oh, I thought that was gonna fall. Here is the one that I made out of a cardboard box and an old planner page, or some planner pages. So I haven't really created in this one yet. You just see the paper. And this is a piece of tissue paper. So it gives me some texture. I'm actually going to be using the same kind of paper to make our cover for the book we're making tonight. Right. And this one here is what we're going to be creating. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, I bumped the camera. All right, this is what we're going to be creating tonight. It's the same size. I have this envelope here. And the same pocket. It's not sponsored, so I'm going to cover it. It's a State Farm envelope, but this little pocket here, I'm going to be able to add a slit on the top. And you want to be mindful. Well, when we get to that step up, I'll walk you through it. But this is what we're planning on creating. Oh, no. So we're planning on creating. And these pages are going to be different because I don't have the same paper. Right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to first remove the flap from this envelope. If you prefer to keep it, you can. Actually, I'm not going to waste my time because I'm just going to make a straight line down here because you see how one side is smaller than the other. So we're going to even that up. I'm just going to use here. I don't have a ruler. Why do I not have a ruler? All the things that I brought to the table to create with, and I never remember. It's okay. I'll use another piece of mail. This is actually from voting. I kept this so I could make a junk journal all of it too. Just so I can have a guide. I'm gonna use my scissors to actually cut it. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. I've just gotten started with making this junk journal. So I'm taking the envelope and I've cut off the flap. I'm gonna cut these two open. That way we can have it open like a book. See here. Okay, there we go. So this is gonna be our book. Right, front cover, back cover. And then from there, we're gonna pick our pages that go on the inside. And I'm only gonna do a few pages. I could take this off. And it's up to you how neat you want it to be. I may not make it perfect because we're going to be doing a lot tonight. So again, for anyone new to the channel, welcome. And if you are looking for a tutorial, you can sit and hang out, grab your craft material so that you can create with me, because this is a live, so you're pretty much hanging out with me while I create, and it may be a longer video. I'm gonna grab one of my old magazines. This is from AAA. Again, this video is not sponsored. So I'm just gonna be grabbing random pages. And we're gonna be folding them in half to make them our inserts. So let's see, I'm gonna go back here to see if any of these pages loosened up. Yep. So I pulled them from the front. You know how they go around the back. Okay, there we go. I think that's enough for now, just to give you an example. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages here. So when we fold them, we're gonna have 18. I'm gonna do 4 in one set and 5 in the other. So simple as this. I'm just gonna take this set here, fold it in half, and do the same. And fold it in half. It's a little bit shorter. Maybe I should have done it lengthwise. Let's see. I don't want them skinny though. Let me see. What did I use for this one? Oh, that's right. I cut it down. So I'm gonna keep the top portion of the envelope since I want to keep this pocket here. So I'll probably take that off right there. I'm just gonna use that as a guide. Take my scissors. If you have scissors that cut with a pattern, this would be a great time to use them, because then your pages will have that edge, the design on it. Get those out of the way. I have the silicone mat down, so everything's sticking. Make it a little crooked there. Okay, and then the next step, of course, is to make my envelope the same size. I'm not measuring. If you if you want it to be perfect, you can do so on yours. For me, it's creating within the book that I look forward to. So putting it together, I just let it go. Right, perfect. Okay, so next is to bind these into the book itself. I'm gonna get a pencil, or a marker, I should say, and I'm just gonna mark one of these as a guide. Top, middle, center type thing. It's not perfect, but you do want them to line up. Same on the book, because I want my holes to be at the same place. All right, so I've got guides on both my inserts and on the envelope itself. I have a needle here. It's basically the one you would use for yarn, and what is that called? What is the plastic that we use when you're using yarn? I forgot what it's called. But it's thick. It's one of the yarn needles is all I'm saying. You don't need a whole lot of yarn, because we're just going to be going through these two inserts. I'm just going to cut it about here. Maybe about 12 inches, maybe a little more. String this up. Okay. I'm actually going to start in the center. I'm going to tie a knot off so that way my string will stay in. And out through the center, and then through the envelope, and then through the top. See, I've got my guide here. I'm going right back through it. And the middle one, I think, is the one that I go through the most. So I'm going to do the top, come back through the middle. Now we're going to come up through the bottom. And the bottom here. And then right here, while I'm going to go in to the middle, that's where I actually oh, it's the next one, because we got to finish it off. Go back through the middle, and that way this is an entire, see, I went from the middle out the top, back in through the middle, and out the bottom, back to the middle. So my string is out here in the back. I'm gonna go back through the top, but I'm not coming through the signature. I'm just coming through the envelope. I'm gonna come through here through the same hole. And then coming behind the signature, and I'm going to get my second insert here. Let me make sure that it's lined up, because what can happen sometimes is you'll turn it this way and you see how they don't line up, and they're here. So you want to make sure that you've got it the right way. And go back to the top here for this one. And here's the important part. See how there's some slack here? You want to make sure that you pull it all the way through. That way your signatures are tight, so it'll look like these two pages are actually together. So you just pull that tight, come back through the middle. And again, we're going to go out the envelope. So let me find my middle part. There we go. And back out the envelope. If you need to, you can pause, you can rewind, go back, because this part can get confusing if you've never done this before. So I'm coming back down the middle. Back through the bottom. And if I'm not guiding you and I'm saying the wrong things, then that can confuse you too. So we're coming back from the bottom into the book, and I gotta make sure that it's tight. Pull it there. And then we'll end it on the outside. There we go. So we've got 2 inserts sewn in a total of 18 pages because we had 9. All right, so I'm just going to go through here and tie this off or secure it. That way I'm not worried about the binding coming loose. And then I got the end of that. Okay, so now the cover. For the cover, you can use anything you want. But if you want to make this a pocket, you want to be mindful. Let's see, what do we want to use? Do we want to use a regular paper? Or do we want to use the cover? We can use a different, I'm going to use a different paper. That way I can show you guys what it looks like. Oh, this looks nice. This is my inside cover. Looks colorful. So I had no plan. I just randomly grabbed the paper. If you have a particular picture or something that you want to use, you can. I'm going to try and do the best to get these parrots in the view. Here. Oops, where did my line go? There we go. Okay, so this is going to be here because this is going to be showing through the window. You actually have this opportunity to use something as the cover. Let's see, where's this going to, kind of want to line it up with what's going to be shown through this pocket. Maybe right there. And I'm just going to mark this off. Okay, now I'm gonna get my glue and just put that on this one because I know this is gonna cover the whole part. And be mindful of where you're putting it because this is gonna be a little bit longer than the actual page. So I didn't put the glue all the way up to the top because I know I'm gonna cut that top portion off. So, okay. So we're kind of starting. I like to try and stay as clean when I'm creating with this stuff. With the painting, I can get crazy and have paint everywhere. I don't care. But when it comes to my creative space and I'm doing junk journaling, I try and make sure that I put things back because I don't want to end up with this big old mess in front of me or with lost pieces. Okay, so now that that's good, we should be able to line this up. And it looks good as far as what's going to be peeking out the window. So now to actually set up this pocket, notice how your envelope has the seal. So when you're cutting the slit, you want to cut it further out than the actual window. So we're going to go from this point here. See, it ends here, so I want to go further out from there to here. And I also want to make sure that I am not cutting through the glue of this because then it would come off. So that's why I'm trying to keep it close to this portion while also leaving the glue. I don't know if you can see it, but it's out here. So where it's got that clear ring around it, that's the glue or the sticker area. I'm cutting right into it, basically. Okay. See that? So now I've got a window and this plastic film didn't come off. So it stayed onto the envelope. We'll do this way. And the important part of gluing this is that you want to skip the window. So you're gonna glue everywhere but this area. I'm gonna glue around here and then the rest of this page to get the cover on it, okay? And there we are. We've got a pocket. So got this here. It's a little bit, oh, almost perfect. Okay, hold on. Make it just a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so just as an example, now we can stick this into the little pocket. I might put another paper behind it to make it a little bit sturdier. I've got something in my pocket already. It's a little piece of paper that wants to go in. So yeah, we've got a pocket, see? Pocket and a front cover. I mean, the inside cover. It's got some parrots, of course, we can cover this. All these pages, the reason why I didn't care what was on it is because my intention is to cover it up and make it my own. So for this one, I could actually keep the art, the wording, or the color. So if you wanted to, you could create a theme with this, create your own kind of art. It's totally up to you. The inside is your creation, what actually the whole book is, but I'm giving you a template. So now what I'm gonna do is I've got this paper here, and actually, I don't know, do I want to make it exactly the same? I like how we've got this color here, so I think I'm gonna try and find something else as my design for the front or for my cover. And let's set aside. I wanted to use this because I love the texture. So it's got like a it's glossy, like receipt paper, but the inside has the texture like not a newspaper. Yeah, it feels a little corrugated, like it was glued onto something. So yeah, it's interesting. I like the texture of that paper. I've got a couple magazines here. I'm just gonna grab something, see if I like anything. Ooh, airplanes. I don't know if I want to tear that up. This one has some art in it. New York University. I know there was some art in here. Maybe I'll find something good for a cover. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep bumping the camera too, so it's wobbly. Oh, that's interesting. They use some ties to make the stripes. That looks kind of cool. I don't know if I want that as a cover though. Ooh. Oh, this looks cool. This kind of looks like bubblegum. What is that? Ooh, I found it. I think I want this. This looks interesting. Okay, so I'll use this. Let's see, will it cover the whole thing? It will. Okay, I found my cover. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I gotta cut this out. I've got to be mindful to cut that out. How do we do that? Let's see. Let's fold this in half first. I'm trying to get it as even as possible. Right there. I'm gonna keep the top for the bottom. And my window. I'm not sure if I went back and cut it or how I did it. It's gonna be. I just have to mark it. I have to mark it. Okay. So here to here to here. Oops. And back up. Okay, so I kind of got an idea of where I want to cut it. I'm just gonna use this. Is that really how wide I want it? Okay, now let me double check because I don't want to make this pocket a lot larger than it needs to be. I just want it for the window. And here I am marking up the outside of my cover. It's all good. I'm just gonna... So this is the tricky part that we're gonna have to work on. Let's get in this window open. Okay, I'm just gonna follow my guides and then we'll go from there. If I go too far outside of my window, I can always decorate it and make a border. Oops. go through. It scored it, but it didn't cut it. There we go. There we go. See how crazy this looks. Did we go too far? Oh no, perfect. I might have done it right. Which rarely happens. Okay, perfect. I need a little bit more in here. Is that good? Maybe just a little bit. There we go. And we'll go as far as here. No, it's not too far out. Okay, there's my window. That's probably where I'm going to start with my gluing. Look at that. See that there? I did it. Did it. Maybe I should just keep the lid somewhere. Again, you want to watch out for the slit. You want to make sure you're going everywhere but on the pocket. Whoops. Actually, let me secure this before I start covering the front. There we are. And again, making sure it's lined up. The most important thing is just making sure that you're keeping it lined up because it will look crazy if it doesn't. If you have a paintbrush, sometimes that can help with moving your glue so that way you don't have those thick lines. Or if you're like me, you can just grab a piece of paper, fold it up, give it a flip, and here we go. Spread the glue. And like a glue stick. Okay. Yeah. Trying to make sure that it stays even as I glue it down. Okay. Okay, and let's make sure our pocket is still functional. Oh no, it's not. I think my paper is above. No, we've covered it. Let me see. It's my pocket, my pocket, my pocket. There we go. Okay, yeah, my paper is a little bit further down. So let me go ahead and fix that. Let's come up just a little bit more. And put across. So my paper didn't lay down properly when I glued it down. It's okay though. There we go. There we go. We've got a functioning pocket again. Now for the back, the easier part. All right, there we are. So now at this point, you'll notice that the yarn that once was exposed from our binding is now covered. And we've got this crazy looking design as our cover, this little part as our window. So now I'm going to glue something on the back of this to make it a little bit sturdy. I think I have some papers. I have some scraps. Give me one. Here they are. Okay, so I'm gonna use one of these. Oh, I keep opening it. Sorry. Let's see. What colors do we have? Got like some teal and pink going on. What this blue one on here? This work? That's too blue. What's this? Ooh, that looks neat. We'll save that for another time. There's no teal, maybe here. Nope, nope, nope. There's long ones. Let's see what's in here. Oh well, where's some blue? Where's some green? I could cut my nails when I need them. Okay, there we go. Maybe too green. Too green. These are odd scrap papers that I've kept from previous projects. I think I was doing inserts for another junk journal. That's where these came from. Maybe this purple will work. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. I like that color. This one looks nice too. Oops. Okay. So I've got a couple to look through. This can go back. Let's see. I'm just looking for the one that goes best with this teal, this pink. I think that one is it right there, maybe. These two look similar. I'll go with this one because it's got all the colors in it. This side. Okay. Now which part do I want? Which one will fit? The bottom. I've got a pile of trash created already. Here we go. And that can go right into the pocket. So there. All right, so now I've got this bottom piece that is a little bit longer than my envelope. So we're gonna cut that off. And I'm gonna do that by going to the inside. It's a little warped from the glue, but it's okay, it's gonna dry. Okay. For the inside, you can decorate that how you want to as well. So we could actually start creating if you want. Let's see, where are we at? That took a good, what, 30 minutes to create the junk journal? That's all there is to it. I took an envelope, kept the pocket as a window, or kept the window as a pocket. And then just grab some random paper, sew them in, and now you have the freedom to create. So on here, what I've done, sorry. So look at side by side. This is the same thing. Same envelope style, same pocket. The only difference is I've already taken the extra time to put some stickers on here, to create the inside, use washi tape. So if you want, you can do the same with color coding. If you have a theme that you want to do, like for this one, right up in the middle, I decided to do the creative affirmations and to keep them in a junk journal. So this is what I did. I started with the backgrounds first. So this is actually the same thing. I have the same paper like this on the inside. And what I did was I took some of these cardstock paper, something like this, and I glued them on to each page as a background. And from there, I found some stickers that I had, such as these. And I just went through, let me show you an example. Like this, see? These all had lines. They had places and spaces to write on. So I peeled it off. If it went with theme, background color, or it just looked like it would be fitting, that's how I put them on there. I didn't know what I was going to be writing. I knew that there was 20 of them. There are 20 affirmations. So I just randomly, put or design 2 sections for each page that I would use for each affirmation because there were 10 pages. So for on each page, I was going to put two of the affirmations. So I put stickers that could fit that on there. And then I just went back to write. One thing that I did notice is I was doing this at 2 in the morning. So I was messing up on some words. I was doing lead and then led, past tense, and I was still writing lead. So that was a mistake I made. But yeah, so I've got some random pages in here too. These were square sheets that I folded diagonally and sewed in here so I could actually create, and they would become little squares. But yeah, that's it. That's how this book came to be. And for the longest time, it was just a bunch of blank, empty pages as well. And it wasn't until I had the idea of writing the creative affirmations and keeping them that we have what is in front of us now. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna put some glue on this here. So if you've been following me for a while, one thing that I do always say when it comes to junk journaling is to pull out all your craft materials that you have. And if you're someone who is saving certain materials for a special occasion, or if you feel that something is too pretty or too nice to ruin, um, I'm going to encourage you to use those things, because what happens over time is that images can fade, stickers will lose their adhesiveness, and the desire to use it is it just goes away. And then you end up with a closet full of craft materials that you're not using. And then you feel guilty because you bought the things for projects that you never started. So to avoid all that, just pull them out. Let's create and do something. Um, one thing I do want to incorporate are these skins here. So let me see if I see anything that might go good on here. These are actually a few of them stacked. So see how I was saying when the cups are finished or when I have remaining paint, if it's something like this, I'll tip it. And once it dries, I pick up the cup and it leaves the ring on this silicone mat. And then in the end, I can just go and peel it right off and reuse it if I wanted to. I might throw this away. It's not really, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe could we put this on the cover? See how crazy these look? I may not keep the same shape either. Actually, hang on a second. Because one of them looked like a flower to me. Oh, this one looks like a pair of glasses. So if you have some, what are those called? Those googly eyes. This would be a cool little creation. You put these on there, put some googly eyes, make a smiley face, and you have a new creation. So just things like that, whatever comes to mind. But this one I want to use, it looks like a flower. So I'm actually going to kind of cut it like one. And this is acrylic paint, so it feels like plastic a little bit. And it's not even, so some places are thinner. Let's see how good I can do this. Kind of lost that flower look. But I think if I put something in the middle, it'll look like a flower again. Let's see, do I have a green color? This is from one of the paintings. Let's see how we can do this. This is interesting. Go. Okay. Some glue on this. I think I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna let the petals stay free. That way I can kind of play with them. I'll lift them. If you're somebody who likes texture, this type of stuff is fun. There you go. I got a little makeshift flower on here. Made out of the skins of an old acrylic painting or leftover paint from an acrylic painting. So there you are. That's how you make a junk journal from an old envelope, some magazine pages, yarn. Another note, I've got glue on the center, but another note is if you don't have yarn or you don't have thread or a needle to sew with, what you can do is actually use rubber bands and insert your pages. If you don't understand, let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So here's a small enough book to show you with. So let's say I couldn't sew these pages in, but I had the center part. So you would take the center page and then you would go around both your signature and the cover, like so. And that would keep your pages bound in there. It may be a little bit loose because it would be a rubber band, but it will also give you the freedom to add pages and to remove pages. And speaking of removing or hiding pages, if you are using your junk journal as a place to journal or to create, Junk journaling is actually a good form of therapy, especially for people who or may have been through trauma, being that it's a lot more difficult to express yourself or write those type of things out. You can create a page where maybe you're feeling angry and nothing but red is the color coming up. You just create that page. Another thing too is you could write about it if you do have, if you just need to release it and get it out. Um, you could, okay, so it says tell your secret here. So let's say you got it all out, right? So then you could just go and paint over it, create on top of it, and nobody but you knows what was on that page. Or if that's not enough, then what you can do is just take some glue and put it all on the page and glue it to the next page that it's next to. And so it's no longer there. It served its purpose. You got it out, you've released it, and it's no longer there. It's no longer going to bother you. It's in that page. You don't have to worry about anybody coming into your junk journal and finding it. And of course, you're the only person that knows that it was there. And should anybody try and go, nosy in it and peel the pages apart, it will destroy the page in their trying to peel it apart. So there's that too. So just a couple ideas and the benefits of junk journaling. It's a way to be creative. It's a way to use things that you have around the house that you may not have otherwise used. Again, if you're somebody who likes binding, you can use a rubber band again. Just wrap it around this way. Keep it that way. Or you could poke some holes on the front and back cover and wrap them through. Maybe a ribbon, maybe a shoestring, whatever you find, whatever works for you. If you have an idea, go ahead and go free with it. But that's it for tonight. I just wanted to show you guys how to make your own junk journal because someone has seen me creating. And also, I have not gone into my junk journaling group for so long. So I apologize. But again, if you found me on YouTube, let me go ahead and turn this camera on so you guys can see me. Again, okay. So if you found me on YouTube, hi and welcome to the channel. However you found me, I'm glad that you came by to hang out. And again, if you're looking for a tutorial, this one's going to be a bit longer because it was a live video where I'm just hanging out and creating. To my junk journaling group, hi, I haven't forgotten about you. I know it's been a while, but you can expect to see more videos. I don't know if this will be like a every other week type thing, but I do want to create more in my junk journal, so I will be recording in there or going live in there if I do decide to create. It won't be so formal. I may just pop on and say I felt like creating tonight and turn the camera on. So I've gotten to the point where I am able to share with you guys without feeling intimidated. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live tonight and have yourself a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Same place, same time next weekend, Saturday 8 p.m. Bye.